The men of the mountains became oathbreakers, ready for war against the sons of Numenor. They were the Aladar. Zaragamba began to muster his forces for an attack in Anorian, in hopes to help the Dark Lord in his peril of Barad-dûr. But the forces of Elendil would not be idle for much longer. Zaragamba had returned to Tirith Onodlo to call to arms all those who would follow him to the east. Many answered his call, still holding the promises of the Dark Lord in their hearts. And in Danharrow, the Mountain King readied his host for once again to assault Aglarond, the key settlement to control the White Mountains and Calenhad. He called unto him his most trustworthy followers, the Dunhag Wardens. Upon standing stones they carved their names, so that their death runes can be finished beneath to be remembered for eternity. Would they fall in battle, and thus no second thoughts, they march out to war. Meanwhile, Tal Zarazir rallied once again against the fortress of Angrenost, calling upon his wife's relatives of the Enedwaith to assault the mighty bastion. The year of 3438 of the Second Age, and the Aladar of the White Mountains gathered more warriors. In the western fortress of Anorian he held, in hopes to raid the land from its wealth. Still, he lacked the strength to make a proper threat upon the east in Minas Tirith. Upon many days of hard march, the Mountain King reached Aglarond with a stronger host to assault its powerful walls. In it lied his dreams of unifying all of Ered Nimras. Upon reaching the borders of Angrenost, word reached Tal Zarazir of his brother-in-law's arrival, Ardaug. He immediately passed over the river Isen to catch up to Aradan's forces that held camp in the east. Ardaug met up with him, and both stormed the forces in the east, where many lied hidden in the forests. The Numenorians lost that day, with many slain, and both passes of the Isen in Tal Zarazir's control. But Ardaug was confident and didn't listen to his brother-in-law's advice, and so he passed the river once again and gave battle to Aradan of Angrenost, but was easily repelled. Their defenses were strong and their arms too keen. The allied forces decided to draw back and come again with a renewed host. Tal Zarazir, although with many wild men allies, had difficulties in controlling them. So came when Saragamba decided to enact a terrible pledge. He once again came to his fifth, and within its walls he called upon the dark powers. The chief emissary, Tal Argan, came to the city to inform the Mountain King of the occurring events. It was then that he saw the evil pact that bounded all souls to it. In the dark woods of Anodlo, he called upon many lords and vassals to raise their banners. The renegades of the High were then formed. Many noble and mighty soldiers raised their weapons in the name of the Dark Lord Sauron. Through human sacrifice, they upheld their evil pledge, and indeed broke Isildur's oath. This elite regiment was Aragamba's great camp to bring mayhem in Anodian and force many hosts sieging Barad-dûr to relieve Elendil's people. The eventful year of 3439 of the Second Age had arrived, and the Aladar was ready to unleash his warriors. But ill news came from the east. Unexpectedly, a Númenórean host could be seen from afar. It was Calenhad, the Prince of Belfalas, a superb commander that faced against the raiders from Umbar in the early years of the war. Now he held vigil over the Bay of Belfalas and the Anduin River, when he was called by his liege to save Anodian. His host was small but strong, more than a match for Zaragamba's renegades. Both forces pondered their next step. Prince Tamar, seeing the growing tensions in Calenhad, reinforced Hathrad Angren with his horsemen, for he knew that Tal Sarazir desired his lands, and if he could but capture Angrenost, his dreams would be achieved. Confident with his own strength, Tal Sarazir didn't fear Tamar's approach, and instead focused on the Númenóreans. Aratan's forces sallied out to battle Ardang, that came once again to support the Lord of Ardor. So Tal Sarazir left his main host to quick march with only his sworn guard to support the wildmen assault. Their hosts rushed the Númenóreans with great ferocity, never allowing them to get closer. Throwing arrows and javelins to draw them in, and then deal the killing blow to a confused and stretched foe. Tal Sarazir, with his small retinue, charged against the enemy's commander, driving Angrenost's host. The sons of Númenor fled back to the fortress, where Aratan commanded its defenses. undefeated in his stronghold, but unable to conquer the barbarians at the gates. Days passed, and the standstill ended, with Zaragamba sallying out of the fortress to engage Calenhad in a place called Calenhad, a western province of an Orient that long been plagued with lawlessness. All of the Aladar's soldiers had been brought to this decisive battle. His light infantry on the front, with archers on support, and his second line being comprised by the renegades of the High, with Zaragamba's sworn guard, veterans of many battles. The Prince of Belfalas was caught by surprise, so he redeployed his forces to better face the enemy. Many strong and elite soldiers from Belfalas and Minas Tirith were present in this engagement. Hidden in the shadows of the forests were many bandits that terrorized Calenhad for many years, being promised many rewards by the Aladar for their assistance against the Númenóreans. Then, upon a high slope, Calenhad ordered his forces to attack. His knights opened the engagement with a powerful charge, leading to his infantry to follow suit. Zaragamba charged forward, attacking Calenhad and his knights. The bandits, trying to flank the Númenóreans, were caught by a Belfalas regiment. For hours, the battle ensued, with Zaragamba's core troops leading the battle. But the renewed charges by the prince began to push back the mounted men. By this time, most of Zaragamba's light troops had been defeated, with only his renegades supporting him. Eventually, he was surrounded, and many of those who made the bloody pledge began to falter. But the Aladar and his sworn guard didn't waver. They hacked many Númenóreans, and for many times their hosts were pushed back. But the Númenórean resolve were that day, and Zaragamba was slain. His ambitions were readily crushed, along with his hosts. And now, the eastern domains of the Mountain King's realm were exposed for conquest. More will come in the next page of this tale. Hope to see you again in this other realm once more.